Real Madrid had arguably their worst performance of the season in that 2-1 loss to Athletic Bilbao. And I don't know about you guys, but the more that I think about this game, the more pissed off I get. Because all the context leading up to this matchup is really starting to get to me when I factor in how important this was. We needed to win. We were in control of our own destiny. Teams helped us get back into the title race. They were taking points off of Barcelona. We were only 1 point behind them, and we had a game in hand. All that we had to do was just keep winning games. And what do? Go out there and play haram ball for 96 minutes. I still cannot believe how shit we looked. Now, this is not a match reaction. If you want to see me go crazy and rant, check out that match reaction because I damn near lost my voice recording that. We're going to talk about 5 things that we learned after that embarrassing performance that we put in against Athletic Bilbao. I need you guys to smash that like button, get in the comment section, and let me know something that you learned from that game. Now that some time has passed, what are some takeaways that you have? Because there's a lot of negatives and there's not many positives. But let's get into it. The first thing that I learned from that Bilbao defeat is that Kylian Mbappe needs to be dropped immediately. He needs to start coming off the bench. There's no way that on the current form Mbappe is on, he should be starting and playing 90 minutes week in, week out. This guy is shit. I cannot believe that this is the same player that we watched score a hat trick in the World Cup final. I cannot believe that this is the same player that we saw become a top 10 goal scorer in Champions League history. I cannot believe that this is the same player that we saw getting 40 to 50 GA every season at PSG. Who the hell is that imposter that is playing at my club? This is Mbappe from Wish. This is Mbappe from Temu. I actually am starting to believe that PSG have the real Mbappe tied up underneath the catacombs in France. I believe that they've sent us an AI clone robot. Who shit? PSG have sent Mbappe to Real Madrid to sabotage us. That is the only way to explain how ass this guy has been. That performance against Bilbao. Brother, if I speak on what I really want to say, this video is getting demonetized. Mbappe stunk up the place for 96 minutes. He was the worst player on the pitch by far. And then the penalty miss. Why the hell is Mbappe even taking the penalty? We saw him miss his last one against Liverpool. We saw Jude score against Getafe with the penalty. Why is Jude not taking that pen? Mbappe needs to be dropped. This guy's shooting boots have gone missing. This guy cannot finish his dinner. I don't think Mbappe would score if my grandmother was in goal. Every single time he shoots the ball, it's going directly at the keeper. And if it's not going directly at the keeper, it's going wide. I know that his shooting percentages is got to be like 7%. It's super low, his conversion rate. He's basically useless up front. He looks washed at 25 years old. We signed this guy for free, and I want a refund. Because what the hell is going on with this guy? I don't know if it's a mental thing. I don't know if he's not motivated. I don't get it. But he needs to find his form off the bench. And here's the thing. I rate Mbappe. I think he will turn it around. But I don't want to see him turn it around while he's starting games, right? Let him find his form off the bench. This is Real Madrid. This is not PSG. This is not no little shit small club. This is a club where you should not be starting week in, week out if you're not putting in good performances. Mbappe has been one of the worst signings of the season in Europe, period. He has dropped off a cliff. Everything about his performance against Bilbao was shit. This guy can't link play like that. His step overs don't work. He holds on to the ball for too long. And his shooting is awful. He needs to be dropped. This is the first thing that I learned from this game. It's time for Mbappe to start holding bench. If Endrick was in some of those positions, I guarantee you that Endrick does better than he does. I guarantee you that Endrick would have scored that one chance that we had from open play, that Mbappe shot directly at the keeper. Again, it's super annoying. It really is. Because we'll create the chances, and then the ball falls to Mbappe, a player that you think buries these chances 8 out of 10 times. But this season, we create these chances, it falls to Mbappe, we don't convert. And if we do get a shot off, then it's probably offside. It's probably offside with this guy. Mbappe must be dropped. Like, look at this stat. Mbappe has missed 13 big chances in La Liga this season. No other player has missed more than 10. This guy cannot find the back of the net to save his life. I'd rather have one of you guys who are watching this video get some of these opportunities than Mbappe. Let's dead all the conversations about him being better than Vinicius. Okay? Those talks are over. Look at how we're struggling without Vinny, having to rely on Mbappe. But yeah, man, this guy must be dropped. He must. I cannot see him start more games with these kind of performances. But will Carlo do it? Probably not. The second thing that I learned is that Carlo Ancelotti needs to be sacked. What's that saying? Leave the football before the football leaves you. Well, guys, the football has left Carlo. This guy looks clueless out there. He has no idea what to do anymore. He has no idea how to get the best out of this current crop of players that we have. He looks so naive tactically. It's time to go. It really is. I don't think it could get worse underneath another manager. What's Zidane doing right now? Go bring him back on an interim basis. Or give it to Raul. Because, Carlo, I'm sorry, bro, but you have to go. You have to. Your formations, shit. Your substitutions, shit. Your lack of leadership as the manager is shocking. Mbappe should have never taken that penalty. You were supposed to make the decision. You were supposed to say, Jude is in better form, Jude takes the pen. But no, you want the players to figure it out themselves. Then what do we have you there for? We're down 1-0. We need a goal. Arda Güler is right there on the bench. Endrick is right there on the bench. And you bring on Ferland Mendy and Luka Modric. Brother, what are you doing? You're cooked. Carlo is cooked. I've been Carlo out since that absolute ass whipping that a mid AC Milan team gave us in the Champions League. This entire season, I think he has mismanaged us. And it's cost us again today against Bilbao. What is that starting 11? Tell me. Why the hell are you still doing a 4-man midfield with Mbappe up front? We know it does not work. Go back to the 4-3-3. Put Mbappe out wide. Why are you starting Tchouaméni? He's been out for like a month. And you're just throwing him back in there against a very good Bilbao side? Why would you rush him back? These are why players get injured. Why are you not making the right subs? Why are you taking off Fran Garcia when we are trailing? We're losing 1-0. What the fuck is Ferland Mendy coming on for? Ferland Mendy does not offer us anything going forward. I think Carlo has mismanaged the youth. I think Carlo doesn't necessarily give clear instructions. If you go look at the average positioning in that Bilbao game, it is awful. I don't know what the game plan was, but it didn't work. In the first half, we were getting cooked. That was the worst first half performance that we've had all season. And then we get to halftime, and I'm thinking, well, things are obviously going to change, right? Like Carlo is going to make a change at half. He's going to change the formation at half. He did neither. This guy waited until they scored to make a sub. We all saw that we were getting cooked. Why would you wait to make a change? If you would have made a change earlier, maybe the momentum could have shifted. Who knows? Point is, Carlo has been reactive, not proactive. He has been bad this season. And I do not mind us sacking him now. Because before, I was thinking, well, there's no manager available that's better than Carlo, that has the CV that Carlo has. But if I'm going to be real with you, that does not matter. It doesn't matter anymore. Because tactically, we have been awful. So, yes, Carlo is a legend. Carlo has won us a lot of trophies. I've seen a lot of success underneath this manager. And I love Carlo. But it's time to go. Right? Maybe you just give him a different role at the club. Make him like an ambassador or something for the club and bring in somebody else. Go get Zidane back. The third thing that I learned from this Bilbao game is that Endrick needs to go on loan. If I was him, once the January window opens up, I would tell Carlo to go fuck himself, and then I would request a loan. Because this guy does not rate you, Endrick. I cannot tell you why Endrick is not getting more minutes. This guy is rotting away on the bench, while Mbappe is stinking it up week in, week out for 90 minutes. Do you guys know that since our game against Lille in the Champions League, Endrick, not only has he barely played, but he's only averaging 3.5 minutes per game. They're giving Endrick Make-A-Wish kid minutes. And I think it's a disgrace, considering that he's the only pure number 9 that we have. Why not give him a chance? What good is Endrick doing for us just sitting on the bench and watching? Carlo Ancelotti is stunting his development. Because I think Endrick is a very good player. I think that he has very high potential. And whenever he does get his little bit of minutes, he's usually impactful. Right? Every time Endrick comes on, he looks dangerous. He looks like he might make something happen. And I know for a fact that he would finish a lot of those chances that Mbappe has gotten. I think if Carlo Ancelotti wants to show us that he has some balls and that he's not a pussy, then he would drop Mbappe for a few games and give Endrick a chance. What do we have to lose? Tell me. We have nothing to lose. We're struggling to break teams down. We're struggling to get shots off. We're struggling to create chances, and we don't play Endrick. Why not? This guy has to go on loan. Because as long as Carlo is our manager, he will never develop properly. You cannot tell me that Endrick does not deserve more playtime. We subbed him on yesterday against Bilbao in the 88th minute. The 88th minute, they brought on Endrick. What kind of joke is that? What is he supposed to do in the 88th minute? What kind of impact is he going to make with 2 minutes to play plus whatever little time they add on? How's he going to prove himself? How does Mbappe play 90 minutes yesterday? He should have been subbed off for Endrick. But Carlo don't trust the kid. Go on loan. I don't know what options there are for you. I know that there's a lot of teams in La Liga that would take Endrick. But you got to come back at the end of this season when Carlo leaves. Because you're not going to develop here. I think it's an actual disgrace how Carlo treats our younger players. This guy didn't even play against Getafe. And then he barely played today against Bilbao. Carlo literally gave him pity minutes. Because I don't even get how come he didn't play against Getafe. This guy didn't even use Endrick against the 17th place team in La Liga. So I feel like he only brought him on because the media questioned why he didn't play in the last game. Carlo don't want to play Endrick. And it's sad. I'm seeing Endrick getting dropped from the Brazil team. Last time the international break was here, he didn't even get called up. So yeah, I think Endrick needs to go on loan. Clearly, there's no room for him here. He would need a lot of injuries to happen for him to get significant playing time. So, Endrick, go on loan, bro, because Carlo is not going to be bringing you on that often. The fourth thing that I learned is that Arda Güler needs to start while Vinicius is injured. Now, you guys know I rate Arda Güler very highly. I think Arda is a generational talent. Yes, you've heard it here first. Generational, I think Arda Güler is. And I know that this season, he hasn't been that impressive, but I believe he's another player that we have that's short on confidence because this manager has not instilled confidence in him. Arda has not played a lot this season. He deserves a lot more minutes. And I think that he is the answer to a lot of the problems that we have. Against Bilbao, he got brought on in the 88th minute. What is Arda Güler meant to do in the 88th minute? He is the best attacking midfielder that we have. He's also the best option that we have for the right wing. He's very creative. He has a good shot on him. He's good at set pieces. He is the ultimate attacker. Why is he not playing more? Against Bilbao, we struggled to break down their defense. The only reason that we scored a goal from open play was because Mbappe's shot got saved by the keeper and it fell right to Jude for a tap-in. But if that game would have went on for 4 more hours, I don't think we would have broke them down. We were very lucky to get a goal in that game. Arda Güler solves that. Put him in the midfield, play him as the 10, and creativity will come. He's another player, just like Endrick. Carlo don't rate him. How many times this season has he not played? I remember when Brahim Diaz got injured early in the season, and I thought, yo, Arda's going to get a lot more minutes, and this guy still barely played him. He could have made a difference against Bilbao. But no, Carlo needs to wait until the 88th minute to give him some run. Arda Güler needs to start for Real Madrid, especially with Vinicius not being there, because Vinny's our best creator. And now that he's not out there because of the injury, I think Arda Güler is the second best that we have on the ball. Play him in the midfield, right? Especially if you want to run the diamond, then fine. Or you can just run the 4-3-3 with a false 9 and put Arda out wide. Every time we have Arda Güler on the pitch, we do look better in possession. Now, I know against Liverpool, he didn't play that well. And I know that he hasn't done the most with the minutes given to him, but it's because he's not getting play time consistently. Arda Güler, I think if you play him more, this guy turns into one of the best in the world. But our manager is not doing anything to instill confidence in him. I think we can all see the potential that this guy has. Play him. Look at what Barcelona are doing with Lamine Yamal, with Kubarsi, right? Like Gerard Martin, Alejandro Balde. Look at all the youth players that they have out there. Why can't we have a manager that trusts our youth a little bit more? Especially when we're struggling to create chances. What did we do against Bilbao that Arda Güler would not have been useful? Offensively, we were horrendous. No creativity. Arda Güler needs to start while Vinicius is out. And then even when Vinicius comes back, still find a way to play him significant minutes. If Arda's on the pitch, good things will happen. But Carlo is really ruining him and Endrick. It's actually crazy. Our XG yesterday, super low. Their goalkeeper barely had anything to do. I think his kit was still clean at the end of the game. Their keeper was chilling for most of that match. He was doing what you and I are doing, watching the game. We were no threat in the final third. You're telling me that we wouldn't have been more of a threat if Arda Güler started that game or got significantly more minutes aside from coming on in the 88th. Arda Güler must play a lot more. And the fifth and final thing that I learned in that loss to Bilbao is that we're just not that good. We are a very mediocre team. There's nothing about us this season that's special. We are shit. And we are in for a very long season. Look at the La Liga table. We're sitting in second. We're 4 points behind Barcelona, and we do have a game in hand. Now, on paper, that looks very good. But then when you actually factor in how shit we've been for a majority of this season, it kind of makes you think, maybe Real Madrid are not that good this season. We are very imbalanced. Our midfield has no creativity. We're missing Toni Kroos. Our attack is imbalanced. Everybody wants to be on the left wing. Our defense has dropped off massively. All the injuries that we've had. Courtois having to bail us out damn near every single game. We only have 2 losses this season. And we're very lucky to only have 2 losses. Because I could name you 4 games that we got a result in that we should have probably lost. We should have lost to Las Palmas, Real Sociedad, right? They hit the post 3 times before we even had a shot on target. What about Villarreal, who kept missing all those big chances? What about Celta Vigo, who were missing all those big chances? We've been very fortunate. And it's just been an awful start. We're only in December. We still have a whole second half of the season to play. I've seen more losses in these last 5 weeks than I saw in the 18 months prior. Let's talk about the Champions League. Look at La Liga. Let's talk about the UCL. Where are we at? The kings of Europe. Where are we at? 24th. We are in the last spot for qualification to the next round. 24th in this new Champions League standing. Look at that. In 5 games, 2 wins, 3 losses. And I'll tell you this right now. In the 2 games that we won in the UCL, we didn't look good. Stuttgart were cooking us. They just didn't have the quality to put away all the chances that they had. So we ended up winning that game, I think, 3-1. We lost 1-0 to Lille. Then we beat Dortmund 5-2. That second half was amazing. But the first 45 minutes, Dortmund were up 2-0. They were cooking us. Now, yes, while we are happy to have scored 5 in the second half, it's not sustainable. It's not. Then we lost to AC Milan, 3-1 at the Bernabeu, a dead AC Milan team. They got the Portuguese Marcus Rashford cooking us. Rafael Leao looking like a Ballon d'Or player against us. And then a 2-0 L to Liverpool. Chat, if you've been watching us this season, you know that we're not very good. And I think that that loss to Bilbao literally just puts the nail in our coffin with that opinion. Is the season over? No, right? There's still a lot of games left. You never know what can happen. But that still doesn't mean that we're a good team. There's no chemistry. We need to go out there and sign some players in the January window. Because what I've been seeing, look at these losses. 4 losses, 4 I'm looking at right here. When's the last time we lost that many games so close together? I can't tell you. It's been very underwhelming this season. We are just not that good. Whether you want to blame Carlo or you want to blame Florentino Perez, I think they both got to hold smoke. Because Carlo's tactics have been shit. We talked about that earlier. But Florentino Perez did not do a good enough job in terms of building the squad. We didn't sign any other player in the summer except for Mbappe on a free. We all know that we need defenders. We know that we needed a replacement for Toni Kroos, and the board did nothing. This team's just not very good. That's the fifth thing that I learned. So I want to know what you guys think, right? Get in the comment section and let me know. What are some things that you learned after that Bilbao game? Awful performance. We have given Barcelona back the momentum in the title race. And now we just got to hope that teams can do us some more favors and take points off of them. But it's just very unfortunate. It is. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on those post notifications. I'm out, people. Holla Madrid.